Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. How are you all doing? Hope you had a great week this past week, as the market gave us plenty of opportunities to capitalize on. In this video, I want to talk about my analysis for gold, and as usual, I'll start up with the weekly time frame and work my way down to the 4-hour time frame or the hourly time frame. Now on the weekly time frame, we can see that price has gotten to this resistance level around the 1790 area, which if you watched my previous video, I pointed out that I was expecting price to get to that level, and then we'd see how price reacts to that area, if price rejects it or if price breaks through that area. So currently on the weekly time frame, we can see that price got to that area there and then rejected slightly. That's why we have this week over there. And then price currently is at that level now, which also coincides with the level of this trend line as well. Um, and if we go down to the daily time frame, okay, so on the daily time frame, we can see that price broke through this trend line and got to this resistance area, which was our target level, giving us about 900 pips for this trade that we've held for the last week or two, or the past 2 weeks. And now when price got there, price rejected back from that area down to this trend line as well. So this could just be a break and retest of the trend line, and price could eventually come up to break this resistance area. So what we're looking at this coming week, okay, there's so many possibilities that can happen, and then we just need to be patient and wait to see which of them plays out. So what we're seeing here now is the break of this trend line here. Price came back down here, and then we'll see if price would break this resistance level to the upside. And if that happens, then we know for sure that price would possibly retest and then continue all the way to the next significant resistance area, which is 1870. All right, so that will be our next significant area if price breaks the 1790 level. So that's where we will be looking to take our profits. And if that happens, or if we manage to take our trades from there, say we take our trade from the 1800 level, right? So if we take our trade from the 1800 level, then we should be looking to, so from the 1800 level, we should be looking to take our profits around the 1870, as I mentioned. So that's around 700 pips. And we will be risking maybe about 250 pips thereabouts. If that happens, a good risk to reward ratio and a very good paper as well to be able to gain, and that would probably take us next week or two to accomplish that. Okay, that is one possibility. Okay, another possibility is price rejecting of this resistance area around the 1790 area, which is started to do, and then continues to go to the downside and breaks below this trend line and then continues all the way down. Price could continue down to this support area here around the 1740 area before it continues up move, or it could just continue all the way down back to the 1680 area, giving us more or less a double bottom pattern to continue the up move. But again, what we need to be aware of is that price can continue to the downside if price breaks below this trend line, and then we can also capitalize on that move as well. All right, so still on the daily time frame, what we can do to capitalize on this daily time frame move is to trade this inside bar, because this first bullish candle followed by this bearish candle, here is it's a baby bar. As you can see, this candle is completely engulfed by this bullish candle here. Okay, so what it means is that we can easily just look for the high of this candle here, okay, and then the low of the candle as well, okay. Some use the open and the close, but I like to use the high and the low, because for me that is more determinant, okay. So the upper part of this triangle is the high and the lower part is the low. So that, gives us an idea of what we're expecting. So what this means basically is, if price on the daily time frame closes above the high, so the next daily candle or whatever daily candle closes above this, right, it means that price most likely would continue to the upside. Okay. On the other hand, if the next candlestick closes mostly below this low here, that's outside the triangle, and closes there on the daily time frame, then price most likely will continue to the downside. Okay, so that's basically how we trade it. So that is one way of looking at it. I don't usually take my trade from the daily time frame, but it's something to bear in mind when the trading day on Monday ends or trading on Tuesday ends, and then we'll go to our daily time frame and notice that price has closed above that area or price has closed below that area. Then for the rest of the week, to give you an idea that price most likely will continue in that direction. So if we go to the 4-hour time frame, all right. So on the 4-hour time frame, basically, again, you can see the so-called break and retest there out of the area. Price got there, broke it, and then retesting it here now. Okay. So again, like I was saying, we can also use this triangular box on the 4-hour time frame and say we would see how price reacts when if price closes below this area, but we can't really trade that way unless the day has closed, and we'll go to the daily time frame and notice that that daily candle has closed below this or above this, and then we trade in that direction. So again, what I would say is, on the 4-hour time frame, price has rejected off this resistance area here, okay. And since price has rejected off this resistance area and has gotten to this trend line, price, again, like I said, two things can happen. Either price continues its down move to the downside, okay, and this would be more or less a double top pattern, okay. This would give us like a double top pattern, and price continue all the way to the downside. Or, and that's one possibility we have to always bear in mind as well, or price may reject from this area here, go back into this resistance area, and then continue to the downside, okay. So this is also another possibility, all right. And when we see this is more or less a head and shoulder pattern. So I'm just pointing out the possibilities that can happen. Just let you know that in Forex, anything can happen, and we should always be prepared, to trade when anything like that happens. Okay. So this is our head and shoulder pattern that can happen and pushing price back to the downside up to this support level of the 1740 area. And if price eventually breaks the 1740 area, then price could continue further to the downside. Okay, so that is one way of looking at it. Another way of looking at it as well is price just bouncing from this trend line, continuing to the top, coming down to retest this area, giving us a bullish signal, and then continue all the way up. Okay, which for me is what I am expecting generally to happen, and then to take price all the way to the 1870 area. And if that happens, we'll be looking for, that would be a fantastic trade for us to take. So in conclusion, or before I conclude, now we can also identify this area here, this trend line as well. And then we can trade that as well. We can use the trend line to figure out exactly, what might happen in the market. Okay. So this retest may come back to retest this trend line here as well as this support area before bouncing to the upside. Okay. Now, if at any point in time price breaks below this trend line, then we can basically just trade the trend line break. Okay, so price may come back to retest this area and then continue to the downside. Okay, so we can also trade the trend line break. That is also one good way of capitalizing on this move. So basically, looking at gold, there are several opportunities that can arise in this coming week. So if you're not going to trade any other pair at all and you want to trade gold, on the 4-hour time frame or the daily time frame, there are plenty of opportunities that will arise in this coming week, and we just have to be patient enough to see which of them plays out and then we capitalize on it. So I am not telling you specifically which direction price is going to go to. I am showing you the possibilities of what can happen and how we can deal with it if that plays out in the next coming week. Okay, so this has been my analysis for gold. I hope this video has been very helpful. If it has, kindly leave a like, and if you haven't subscribed, kindly subscribe to the channel for more analysis videos. Thank you very much for watching and have a great week ahead. Peace.
I can't forget the day we met. Your eyes so blue, me piercing through. I can't forget the day we met. Your smile so bright.